Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar today, Take the 90 and 90 Challenge, with your MAPS coaches, Craig Reger and Andrea Morrisson.
Woo-hoo!
Today, hello? Sorry. Today, this session is being recorded, and please feel free to share this recording with anyone in your market center. If you have any questions, please type them into the questions box. We do love group interaction, so again, if you have any questions, you can type them in for Andrea and Craig right there. And that's all for me, so Andrea, you can get started.
Great, thank you so much, Paige, we appreciate it. Well, hello everybody, I'm Andrea, and this is Craig here too.
Hello everybody, Craig Reger.
Super excited about our webinar today to present to you both the 90 and 90 buyers class and the 90 and 90 listings class. So we'll be going through buyers first, and then we'll talk about a little bit about listings second.
Absolutely. We have two great programs starting on Monday, and today we're going to give you a quick snapshot of the type of value we'll be providing. Can you go to the next slide, Paige? Paige, can you forward to the next slide? Alrighty, technology, gotta love it. So, Andrea, what was in the slide deck? What was the first topic we're going to talk on with
Awesome. So on 90 buyers, we're going to talk a little bit about door knocking with offers.
So we absolutely love door knocking with offers. This is something we learned from our MAPS Mastery coach a few years ago. It was Monica Reynolds at the time, and it's you know, I look at door knocking, Andrea, as, okay, well, we can door knock before our open house, awesome activity, invite people to the open, potentially identify people that, you know, are looking to buy or sell or visit the open. We can door knock after just sold in a neighborhood. And for me, absolutely one of my hands down favorite things is to door knock with offers. And so looking at this from a buyer agent perspective, where's the value? Well, many of us around the country right now are in a market where we're writing an offer on a listing, and then that property, our buyer loses to multiple offers. Does that happen sometimes?
It's happening a lot.
Sure.
At least here in Portland.
Yeah, well, across the nation, the agents that we're coaching we're hearing it all the time,
Absolutely.
everywhere. And so what we like to do to help our buyer's agents in these situations on our team is we'll take a copy of that losing offer and we'll actually black out anything that's confidential. So typically on the first page, we're going to black out the listing agent's name. We're going to leave our name, of course, Craig Reger, Keller Williams Realty. We'll black out the buyer's last name, the seller's last name, and anything pertinent maybe on financial, like down payment. And what we're left with is it says Craig Reger, Keller Williams Mortgage, represented Susie Buyer, and there was Sally Seller at 123 Main Street, Portland, Oregon, for $400,000. And now we've got a live signed earnest money contract with confidential information blacked out, and we'll make about 50 to 100 copies of that. And then we'll simply start canvassing the neighborhood. And when we canvass the neighborhood right around that property, here's what the script looks like. Knock, knock.
Hello?
Oh, hi, I'm Craig Reger. I'm with Keller Williams Realty. How are you?
I'm okay.
Hey, do you see that house around the corner that hit the market last week?
I did. I drive by it on my way to work.
Yeah, did you know it's already sold?
Wow.
I know, right? In fact, our buyers offered on that property over the weekend. They offered full price. They're extremely well approved. And unfortunately, they lost out on the home. I don't know why. Maybe they lost out to cash, but I know that the sellers received multiple offers. Here's a copy of my client's offer. They're really depressed. They want to live in this neighborhood. They really want the kids to go to this school district. May I ask you, have you thought about selling your property?
We personally have not, no.
Awesome. Do you have any friends or neighbors who have thought about selling their property?
I heard actually the folks down the street, they're having a baby. I think they're going to upsize.
Absolutely. So the power of this is that when you actually take a copy of a signed offer and you go to a neighbor's property and you have the validity of holding in part with confidential information blacked out of that signed offer and you hand that to a neighbor, that is something they can't get from Zillow, they can't get from Realtor.com, they can't get from the internet. Like, you become so valid. And if they have any desire to sell whatsoever, they're going to have a conversation with you.
Right.
And then on the flip side of it, if they have any friends or neighbors, and we'll hear that frequently, like, yeah, you should talk to the Smiths. I heard they're pregnant with twins. You should talk to the Johnsons. I heard that Mr. Johnson's taking a job transfer. You should talk to the Frankels. I heard their marriage isn't going well and they might be selling. Like, these are real life situations we get on a weekly basis.
Yep.
When we door knock with offers. And then, of course, there's an opportunity now to match our buyer up with that property, or what we get often from this as well as listings. And although 90 Buyers in 90 Days is a buyer's course, hey, as Gary Keller teaches us and MAPS coaching teaches us, the one way to absolutely secure more buyers is to do what, Andrea?
To go out and find them.
Get more listings.
Get more listings.
Right. And so if we go and dominate and get listings using this exercise, what that's going to help all of you do, like, challenge me on this. The person that has the biggest buyer business is probably the most aggressive listing agent. Would you agree with that?
Totally agree.
Right. So in this case, you're finding a connection for the property with your buyer, and you're also bringing listings into your company, which we know and Gary and MAPS Coaching teaches us will get you more buyers as well.
Absolutely.
It's really cool. And then here's what our follow-up call looks like to our client that evening. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Andrea, it's Craig with Keller Williams. How you doing?
It sucks. We missed out on that house, and we really wanted it.
I know. That's never easy when you put a good offer and you're in love with a property. I want to let you know what we did for you today.
Okay.
We actually took a copy of your offer. We blacked out all confidential information, and we canvassed the neighborhood. We knocked on 100 doors. We had about 61 people talk to us. And of the 61 people right around that house that you lost out on, we have 5 people that have identified they're looking to sell. And we have follow-up conversations with them. And any of those folks that choose to sell, because we know you want that neighborhood, we're going to get you into those houses first.
Wow, that's really cool.
We know this was tough on you and Gus, and when we work with our company, that's the type of service level we provide. We go the extra mile. We don't just wait for properties to hit the market.
Wow.
So when we have that type of dialogue with our buyers, that leads to what?
Referrals.
Absolutely.
Happy clients.
Happy clients, more buyer referrals, which supports what this program is about, which is getting 90 buyers in 90 days. Now, I don't want anybody on the phone call getting hung up on the fact it's 90 buyers in 90 days, because the reality is that you can set whatever goal you want in our MAPS program. You know, you could be a Lance Loken type team and set 200 buyers or 300 buyers in 90 days. That's awesome. You may be brand new to the real estate industry, and your goal might be 10 buyers in 90 days. There's no right or wrong, and we definitely work through that on a high level on call 1, which starts on Monday. And the reality is our MAPS coaches challenge Andrea and I and the team to set big, massive goals. And for us, with the size of our team, it was 90 buyers in 90 days. We're going to help you set a stretch goal that's appropriate to your business. That might be more or less than that. And the purpose is to set big goals, period. Now, Andrea, the next thing that we really cover in this program is how to get buyers in for a consult.
Super important.
Right. Well, at the end of the day, here's how I used to do my business. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hey, and well, I'll just script with myself. And it's like, hi, this is Susie, and I want to see this property at 4 o'clock today. I'm like, sweet. I got a buyer that called on my listing, and I'd go and show it to them.
Well, a lot of people do that.
Yeah, and then what happened is I'm in the living room trying to convince them why Keller Williams, why Craig Reger, why work with me, and what do they want to do?
Look at the house. That's
yeah,
why they're there.
They don't want a sales pitch. They want to run through the house and see if this is where they want to live their life, raise their family, have their hobbies, whatever it is they're going to do in that home. And the last thing that they're interested in is getting pressured into me of work with me, let's sit down. And so I had a really low conversion ratio, and that's how I did my business, of trying to close people while showing homes. And Andrea and I mean it, so we've been in business 6-7 years now, and I've been in business 21 years. You're one of the best I've ever seen in the country of converting buyers over the phone to come into the office and have a consult with you, right? Like in the past, when I went and showed a property and tried to convince them to work with me, my ratios were about 10 to 20%. So in other words, about every 10 times I did that, 1 or 2 of those buyers would select me as an agent, and I ultimately sold them a property. Now, when we get these phone calls, or even if we're making phone calls and we get people to actually show up at the office for a professional buyer consultation prior to showing them any properties, what's our ratio of folks that buy houses from us?
I mean, it's upwards of 90%, 90, 95%.
Yeah, so 9 out of 10 people that we get to come to our office to have a consult with as our first face-to-face meeting, 9 out of 10 times we sell them a property. So, Andrew, you want to talk about how you set that up and how that works?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll kind of back up just a tad. And, you know, I was guilty of the same thing for a while. Is somebody would call on one of our listings, and I was excited, and I went out and showed it. Like, that's just, I thought that was what you do, and we just didn't really know any better. And it got very, for lack of a better term, it was annoying. Like, I hated driving across town in rush hour traffic for somebody to maybe show up and then they're rude, or all they want to see is the house. They don't want to talk to you, which makes sense, right? They've waited all day to go and see this house. They're not to go and talk to you. So we totally switched it up, and we basically just set up a policy, if you will, but it was just a commitment to ourselves that we weren't going to do that anymore. And we were going to find the scripts to get buyers to come in and sit down and meet with us. And it was a total changing point, and it worked really well because we had just had that mindset that I don't want to do that anymore. It's a waste of time. I'd rather miss out on a buyer because they're not willing to come in and sit down for me, then they must not be serious, and I'm okay with letting them go because the amount of time I'm going to make up and the amount of real buyers that I'm going to get increases exponentially, that it's worth it, and it's worth it for them to work on my time. So scripting for that was really just being honest and saying, this is what we do. We have you come in. We want to save you time and save you stress, so we have you come in so we can sit down and talk about what's important to you, what's going on in the market, and how we can help, and then we go out and attack and we find you the homes that work best for you. Yep, we can see the home that you're calling in on, and likely I'm going to find you 2 or 3 more that we can see while we're out as well.
So, Andrea, it sounds like what you'll be covering in a portion of the course in great detail is what those scripts look like, how you use them, how you overcome objections, and how you are so incredibly successful. I mean, I've seen times where people have driven 2+ hours across town during rush hour traffic on a Friday night to meet you at the market center at 5 p.m. rather than you driving 2 hours in traffic to show them a home that they probably don't like and not securing them as a client.
Yep. Yeah.
So that'll be the premises. We'll be covering that in great detail.
Absolutely. Yep. We'll talk about that more on the course. But there's a little teaser for you anyway, that it's just providing them the benefits and talking with them about that. And of course, we'll have the scripts to follow.
Absolutely. Paige, can you go to the next slide, please? Excellent job. Alrighty, so this course provides you with the best practices, scripts, and role play techniques and proven systems, and the tracking strategies needed to build a high-producing buyer business. Andrea and I are so excited that MAPS Coaching has offered us this opportunity to share with all of you. Andrea and I are both clearly MAPS coaches. We've had coaches for many years, and we are dedicated to having big businesses with big balance and big consistency. And that's what this course is about. And as I alluded to earlier, it's not necessarily about 90 buyers in 90 days. It's about having a stretch goal, especially at this time of year, going into the fourth quarter, of I'm going to get this many clients to sign contracts with me. And I will share that the 90 buyers in 90 days, we're not talking about closed escrows. We're not talking about earnest money contracts written. What this program is about is 90 buyer broker agreements signed. And so that is our definition of success, is that we know if we can do the correct lead generation with the correct scripting, the correct tracking, the correct mindset, then we can get X amount of buyer broker contracts signed. And if we can get, when we hit our number of buyer broker contracts signed, we exceed our goals in buyer closings in the months to come. And so just, again, clarity, it's not about how many homes we sell in this program. That is the next measure. The first measure is getting face-to-face with people, and at the end of a strategic meeting, having them sign a buyer-broker contract. And we're going to give you literally every tool and more that you could possibly imagine to hit whatever goal it is you set for the next 3 months in your business. Andrea, is there anything you would add to that?
You know, I'm excited about this course kind of going through fourth quarter and getting us set up for the new year. You know, we do this during springtime as well, and that's super fun, and people are out and about, and it's a great time. But gosh, if you want to set up a great 2018, I can't think of a better way to do it than to just really dive into getting super consistent, super good at your scripts, super good at how you're finding business, and just knocking it out of the park. It's going to create a huge 2018. I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, you nailed it. I mean, this course is starting on Monday, and what's the day on Monday? I think it's like the 13th. Yeah, so we're starting this in mid-November. You're going to have 48 days of ramp up of having buyer consults, learning new techniques, having a strategic business, having consistent time blocking, and by doing so, and if you're in bold right now, this absolutely complements bold as well, and you're right, Andrea, what this is going to set up is likely the best first quarter of your business. We'll see folks getting results as early as next week from this program, yet technically we'll see the closings and the escrows really starting to happen in January and February, which is who doesn't want to start the beginning of a year in their first quarter with their business going absolutely vertical.
Absolutely.
All right, how do they sign up? Let's go to the next slide, please, Paige. All right, there we go.
So again, we're starting on Monday. It'll be at 12 p.m. Central Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Time. It's 8 weeks long. It's a $298 investment, but today, for those of you on the call, we are giving I believe it ends up being a 25% discount with the code there that you see on your screen.
So it goes from $298 to $223.50, I believe. So great savings if you sign up right now, and the discount code is
Web25.
Web25. So how do they enter that discount code?
If you go onto the MAPS Group Coaching website and get signed up through that, there'll be a place for you to enter the code.
So go to MAPS Group Coaching, 90 buyers, 90 days, and enter discount code Web25 to get started. All right, Andrea, let's jump in and let's talk about 90 listings in 90 days. And at the end of it, if we have some extra time, we can certainly cover some Q&A as well.
For sure. All right. Paige, can you get us to the next slide? Well, I know we're going to start off with 90 listings in 90 days. I believe the first thing we're going to talk about is rent bows.
Absolutely. So, yeah, Paige, advance us when you can. That would be greatly appreciated. And so we want to give you some new techniques. Now, 90 listings in 90 days is similar to what you just heard. It's a separate program than the buyer program. So it's a separate sign-up through MAPS. We have a lot of folks that choose to take both programs, or some folks that just do one and do the other at another time. There's no right or wrong. It's just where you're at in your business and how far you want to expand your business going into next year. And as Andrea said, we have a really interesting technique that I don't hear talked about too much on stage or nationally, and it's called rent bows. Andrea, what's a rent bow?
So a rent bow is basically somebody who has a property that they've put on usually Craigslist for rent. They're renting out the property. So they're putting it on, it's like, instead of for sale, it's for rent. And we're just tracking those down. And again, usually they're off of Craigslist. We're just tracking those down, finding them, and calling them to basically see if they want to sell. And then you'll see the script will be given to you in a little bit as well. And if they don't want to sell, do they want to buy? Because they must be an investor.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a technique that you'll find very little competition in. So let me give you the mindset that we have around rent bows. And Andrea, you and I both own investment properties. Is that true?
That's true.
Outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
And on your investment homes, do you have a property management company running it, or do you do it yourself?
I actually do it myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you place ads,
mm-hmm.
meet the renters,
Yep.
and sign it up for yourself.
Yep.
Now, you're a licensed agent, but in our experience, would you agree that most folks who are casual investors are renting them themselves or getting property management companies?
Usually they're doing it themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, hey, it's not that hard to meet somebody. Again, most places of the country, the rental market's pretty insane right now as well.
Mm-hmm.
So why pay that 10% to a property management company?
Exactly.
So here's where I'm at with a rent bow, and these are real stories. Like, I'm out of town on a fishing trip or speaking on behalf of KW. We've got a rental hit the market. We spend a week or two getting it cleaned up, carpets cleaned, paint touch-ups, ads ran. My wife is dropping the kids off at soccer. She's got to get my son to football an hour later, and she's meeting a prospective renter that replied to our ad. Does that sound like real life?
That's what happened to me.
So she shows up at this property, our rental, and she's got a 5 p.m. for the renter to meet her, and she's there at 4:55, the lights are on, the heat's on, and at 4:10, no one's there. And at 4:15, she's texting them, and at 4:17, they're texting back saying, sorry, we're not going to make it today. Right? So between cleaning up the property and being stood up by renters, how is she feeling right now as a landlord?
Probably pretty frustrated.
A little bit frustrated.
Yeah.
Right? So here's what the call looks like and the script looks like. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hi, is this Andrea?
Yep.
Andrea, it's Craig Reger. I'm with Keller Williams Realty. I saw you've got a property for rent on Craigslist. Is that property still for rent?
Yes, it is.
Outstanding. Well, hey, I wanted to give you a call right now. We have an abundance of buyers looking to live in your community. If I could get you top dollar or even more than top dollar for the property right now, would you consider rent or selling over renting?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, what I'd like to do is schedule a face-to-face meeting with you. Let's run through the property. I'll show you what I can get you, and if that's a number that excites you, let's get the property listed. And if it doesn't excite you, you can, stick with the renting program. How does Monday at 1 or Tuesday at 2 sound to you?
Tuesday at 2 would work great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Guys, we have this script typed out for you. I don't know if it's the next slide or not, or Andrea, do you know if we got that loaded?
Yeah, on the next slide.
Okay.
We'll have the script page if you want to just advance to that. That's fine.
Absolutely. And if not, of course, we'll be providing the program of 90 listings in 90 days. If you put yourself in a typical part-time landlord and all of a sudden, right, you're frustrated, the house has been trashed, you're being stood up, and an agent calls and is telling you, hey, I can get you top dollar, That's a phone call that has very little competition from other agents in your marketplace, and they're very, very good leads. Very good leads. So here's a copy of that script now on your page. Hi, this is Craig Reger with Keller Williams Realty. I just saw your property for rent on Craigslist. I'm calling to ask if you have thought about selling your home in this hot real estate market. And in this case, Andrea said yes. Let's do it again. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hi, is this Andrea?
Yep.
Hey, Andrea, this is Craig with KW Realty, and I just saw your property for rent on Craigslist, and I'm calling to ask if you have thought about selling your home in this hot real estate market.
No, we're making some money on it. We're going to stick with it.
Awesome. Well, clearly you're a savvy investor. Good for you.
Thanks.
That's great. Hey, we've got a team, and every single day we're looking for the best deals in the local market. If we find a great rental opportunity, with you being a savvy investor, are you interested in adding to your portfolio?
Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah, great opportunity.
Awesome.
Sure.
Why don't we schedule a meeting for about 15 minutes so I can identify what it is you're looking for, so when my team and I find that great deal, we can call you first. Would that be okay?
That'd be fantastic.
Now, guys, I realize this is a listing class, so we're going to focus on helping you hit a listing goal, which, by the way, might be 90 listings in 90 days. It might be more than that. It might be 10 listings in 90 days. That's up to you and where you want your business to go. We're going to help you identify that goal on the first call on Monday. The first script we gave you is deadly. Yeah, I'm frustrated with the rental process. I would sell for top dollar. Let's meet.
Yeah.
Now,
a lot of people are going to say yes at that point.
Right. Now, the people that say no, like right, well, here, I just bought this as a rental, well, here, things like that.
Sure.
Well, we fire back and say, great. Clearly, you're a savvy investor.
That makes me feel good.
Right? It does. My team specializes in helping people find great investment properties. Do you want to sit down for 15 minutes so I know what you're looking for, so when I find it, I can show it to you? Now, that's not a listing lead per se, yet we're still building a database from somebody who is active in the real estate market. This is a great way to build your business, either direction. All right, Andrew, why don't we talk about the next one, and we'll move on to, we've got about 3-4 minutes left. What's another strategy we use? This is Tony DeCello, Maps Mastery Coach, about 7 years ago when I first started coaching with him. Now, mind you, we're in a little bit of a recession back then, and he gave me, as Tony does to everybody, and all Maps coaches do, gave me some of the best advice I've ever received. Get a listing, sell it, tell the world. Right? And I was like, it's that simple? He's like, kind of, Craig. Get a listing, sell it, tell the world. So why don't you talk about really quickly how we utilize that basic message in 90 listings in 90 days?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little self-explanatory. Get a listing, sell it, tell the world. So every outlet that we can, we're telling people either we have a listing or we sold a listing, whichever the opportunity is. And that's through, on our signs, once we sell it, we're putting up sold stickers right away. That's through Facebook or social media marketing. That's through, sometimes it's through mailers, that costs money. It's through calls to the neighborhood.
Circle prospecting.
Circle prospecting, yep, exactly.
And the
door knocking.
Yep.
So it's all of those things, but it's just being very purposeful about when you get a listing, marketing the heck out of it, and when you sell it, doing the same thing all over again. And you're hopefully hitting these same people twice.
Or 3 or 4 times.
Sure, yeah, definitely.
Well, here's the reality. Like, folks in this call, some of you, if not many of you, depending on how long you've been in the business, you've had opportunities where you sold your listing and you go over to pick up whatever propaganda you have in the listing at closing, and what do you see across the street?
Somebody else's for sale sign?
Yeah, it might be a buddy in your office, it may be a RE/MAX sign, but there's another sign across the street. Like, statistically, when one house hits the market in the neighborhood, 3 more listings will hit in the next 90 days. We track this, we measure this. It is not an average or a guess. It's basically a law.
Yeah.
And so one of our strategies, and Andrea mentioned it, is putting up sold signs or sold stickers or sold riders. And when we interview agents from around the country, and I'll say, hey, Andrea, do you use sold or pending signs?
Sometimes pending, yes.
Yeah, okay. When do you put those up?
After inspection.
Okay, great. So let me play this out. As you get a listing, and are some of your listings selling in the first week?
Yeah.
Awesome. So you get a listing, you put it on the market. A week later, it's under contract. And how long do inspections take in your market to get completed and negotiated?
About 2 weeks.
About 2 weeks. So you get a listing, it takes a week to sell, and about 2 weeks later, you wrap up all inspection negotiations. So you're about 21 days into it.
Yeah.
And you put a pending sign up.
Yeah.
How do you think the public, do you think the public like sees a pending sign 3-4 weeks after a house hits the market? It's like, oh my gosh, Andrea is amazing?
Probably not.
I would guess not.
Yeah.
Right? I would guess not. It's like, I don't even think 25% of the neighbors actually know what pending means.
You're probably true. That's probably right.
And the fact that we waited a week to sell the property and then waited until inspection was cleared another couple weeks, the fact that 21 days later something happened different with the home, now it's pending, I don't think that excites anybody.
Yeah.
Gary Keller, and we're fortunate enough to be in Gary's mastermind group and visit with him 4 times a year. Gary Keller is constantly challenging us to be disruptive. Be disruptive, be disruptive. So let's try another strategy. Andrea, I sell your house.
Okay.
Right? I put your house on the market today.
Okay.
You're a seller, I'm your agent. On Sunday, I have an accepted offer.
That's awesome.
Monday morning, I drive over, and I put a giant sold sign, rider, or sticker across your sign.
Cool.
Well, let's play this out, right? Is that it's been on the market 3, 4, 5, 6 days.
Yep.
I got an accepted offer, and I put a giant sold sign up. Neighbors are driving to and from Nike or Intel or wherever people drive to, church, school drop-off in your local neighborhoods, and they're seeing a sign go up Friday, and on Monday or Tuesday, there's a giant sold sign replacing it. What do those neighbors say in their head?
Craig sells houses fast.
Holy moly, like what happened? How did that sell so fast? Now, those 2 or 3 people in the community that probably will be listing their house in the next 90 days, what are they specifically thinking?
That you sell houses. Specifically, you as the agent sold that house fast.
I got it done.
Yeah.
Period. And probably got it done for a lot of money if the seller accepted it that quickly.
Right.
Now, those folks are come list me. They'll call you up and say, hey, I see that you just sold the Joneses house. We've been thinking about selling. Do you want to meet? In those situations, do those folks beat us up on commission?
No.
Are they super concerned our marketing works?
They already know it does.
Remember what Tony DeSello said, get a listing, sell it, tell the world. When you get a giant sold sign up an hour or a day after you're in contract with your buyer, that is disruptive, as Gary says, and anyone in that neighborhood that's thinking about selling takes notice. And if they're not calling us, we're going to be showing you strategies in the program where we call the neighbors, and it all works together, which is what helps us dominate our local listing market. It's extremely powerful. And so this is just one more good technique. And I know some of you are on the call are thinking, well, that's not what happens if the house falls apart. Well, what do?
Rip off the sticker.
Yeah, we just drive over and take the sign down. Like, it's not the end of the world. It's like a 1 hour, like, house fell apart. That's unfortunate. We drive over and take it down. The vast majority of the time, our deals don't fall apart. And by that giant sold sign being up, what it's doing is it's helping us get more business. Yep. It's really that simple. Hey, Paige, do you want to go to the next slide? Awesome. All right, this course will arm you with the models to organize the sales team, which, by the way, the team might be yourself. It's definitely a program for individual agents. We'll give you the scripts and the lead generation systems for a giant listing business. By the way, when you have a ton of listings, hold on tight because you're going to have a lot more buyers. We'll give you the accountability and the tracking strategies. We'll give you role-playing techniques that will undeniably transform your business.
Awesome.
I'm super passionate about this course. Again, as we shared on the buyer course, this is a phenomenal time of year because right now, guys, what we're doing, our efforts today are going to set up or not set up 2018, specifically the first quarter. Like, what we do today depends on what happens January and February of 2018. And this course is going to give you the techniques. I think what's most cool about it is the mindset. Right, the first call is really about having and by the way, isn't that where the MREA starts, having a big mindset, big goals, and a big vision?
Absolutely.
So we're going to help you get the big why and a big mindset to have a big challenge. And your challenge might be 20 listings in 90 days, 200 listings in 90 days. The numbers are relevant. We're just going to challenge you to have a stretch goal, and we'll give you the tools and systems to absolutely hit it. Paige, do you want to go to the next slide so we can show them how to sign up? I think there's a delay in technology today.
Of course. It's Friday, so technology is sleepy.
Absolutely.
Well, the course is starting this Monday. It's starting at 2 p.m. Central Time, so noon Pacific Time. It'll continue every Monday thereafter that at the same time for 8 weeks. There is going to be a discount code on this one as well.
Paige, please advance to the next slide. Alrighty. There will be a discount code where you'll get 25% off of this course, taking the $298 down to approximately $223.
I think that's what it was. Yep.
Yeah, Andrea, you're able to go to just your email doc and we can give everybody the discount code verbally.
Yep. Give me just a second.
Hey, Craig. So the attendees see the correct slide. The launch is Monday, November 10th at 2 p.m. The regular investment is $298, and with this special that we have going on today with code WEB25, you receive 25% off, and the cost of the program becomes $223.50. So that's huge savings. And if you would like to sign up, you can go to mapsgroupcoaching.com, click 90 listings in 90 days, and you'll register there with that code WEB25.
Thank you so much, Paige, for helping us with the technology there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. We hope you gleaned some value from today's call. We can assure you this course is, either one of these courses is a foundational pillar to you having a tremendous first quarter and beyond of 2018. For anyone in Bold, we love Bold. Between Andrea and I, we've been in it over 20 times. This is a fantastic compliment to Bold, and we look forward to being your coaches starting next week. Thank you so much, Paige.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. Have a great week.
Thanks, y'all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.